Hello folks, week 5. It's getting close, down to the wire. We only have one more week. Possibly 2 more steps. Now you're saying, how do I have 2 more steps? Well, the last step, if it's necessary, it's just basically giving the rocks a bath. It's called a burnishing. You just throw them back in there, the rocks back in after the next load, and we give them a bath. We put a little bit of ivory soap in there. You wash them for about an hour. They tumble around, they clean up, and you have really beautiful shiny rocks. Depending on the stone, that you might have to do it, and then other times you may not. But we're getting some good looking material I can already see out of here. We'll see what we're looking at here. I'm telling you, we're looking real good, guys. Look at this piece. That's just gorgeous. That's coming out so beautiful. Let me take a break here for a minute. I got my black cat Pantera out here putting his 2 cents worth in. I'm gonna take a break. Yeah, that's nasty water, cat. Don't drink it. All right, folks, here we are. We're getting some good looking material coming through here. As you can see, the beauty is just coming out in these guys. And the more we tumble, the more beautiful it's gonna look. And as you can hear, we got rude neighbors out here. They come by earlier and saw I was out doing something, so they decided to come by and see how much noise they can make. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate your rudeness. I live on the corner, so basically I'm in a fishbowl. Anything I do out here goes to the entire neighborhood, and the entire Picture Rocks neighborhood decides to see what's going on the corner. These crazy people are outside again doing things. It was really bad when we first moved here. We'd like to go out, sit on our deck, and eat dinner in the evenings. Nice and cool, you know, in September. Well, it used to be cool in September. Today's the last day of September, and I'm 101 degrees. And we're looking at more 100 degrees the rest of the week. What's that, Abby? And that's my dog, Abaddon, who was supposed to go in the house to be fed, and apparently he got away from my grandson. So we're gonna listen to dogs bark too. Or do you want to say, okay, animal music? We're getting some good stuff here. I got noticing on the cleanup. We're doing the these stones are coming out. You can just see it. Even when you dry them off, they're just, that's telling you got a good quality run on all this. You know, it's going to be hard to find a proper face when you start making this into jewelry. This I think could be the back side here. It's got a little bit of place where it had a knock in it, but that's a beautiful front side. I have noticed a few of these had chips in them, or developed chips. It's not a big deal. You really can't notice them that much. Now this particular stone here might be wire wrapped. I'm not sure yet. It's got a lot of beauty to it. On the one side, the reason I say it might be wire wrapped and this be the face is here on the back side, you got that place where it was a softer material that kept just working away as we tumbled it. So you could run your wire through that and just around the front of it, or through that part of it, and maybe wrap around the corners like a birthday present or something, and it would be a beautiful stone to. You got a lot of little squigglies of hematite in there. It's just, I tell you, it's hard to believe. Even the backside, beautiful. We could use that as a face too. You can see the different layers where it goes through the hematites and the host rock and all the asbestos or whatever the crystallization that's in the rock. Well, here's another one that's got some beautiful patterning on it. And again, it could, either side could be a front to it, but just depending on your how you like to look at it. This one here is definitely coming out nice. It's hard to decide a side on it. As you can see, it's just all sides, all corners. They just flash. So beautiful. Oops. I'll redo that one again. Well, here's another one. This one I probably just put in a little wire cage. It looks so good. Get it in the sunlight and it just reflect and shine and show all what God did when he made that stone, put all his beauty into it. And here's another one that could be a wire wrap. Again, it's got the place on the back side where the softer material wore away. But again, that could also be a front because you got your banding of hematites in there. And on this front side, I don't know if you can get the beauty of it, but as you slowly move it, you can see the flash and fire come through that stone. Maybe if I rotate it, it might help. But as you can see, you know, it's drying off and it's still got a good polish to it. Now, if I need to burnish these things, I will go through that step and process. It will be in the next video. Like I said, it's not a long process, maybe an hour. And it's not going to be a hard thing to do for one more video. Like I said, my next run, I might tease everybody if you want. And this one also, beautiful banding. You could go this way or either way, drill it, wire wrap it, cage it. Hate to say cage because I don't like to see caged animals. But as you can see, a caged stone isn't going to hurt too much. But like I said, there's just lots of beauty in all this. Here's the last piece of my gold tiger out of that particular batch I'm working. I still got a few pieces of red. But as you can see, it's the nice thing I like about tigereye. You can study it for hours just in the sunlight and see all the different layers and the depth that goes in, that they've got in these rocks. You know, you can just see down these layers and layers. You know, sometimes you can get a polish on them to where they look like it's a mile deep and shine and stuff. And here's another beautiful red with some tourmaline, or not tourmaline, the hematite banding, excuse me. Like I said, it's hard to see which side you want to do, because here's another side. Absolutely gorgeous. Just however you want to do it. This one, if I remember right, it had a little bit of a chip right here by the tip of my finger. Not a big chip, and you see it's a little flat spot, but it's not going to deter from the value of the rock as far as I'm concerned, nor the beauty. There's a hematite banding again. It's fascinating how it's all layered up, set up, and then we somehow discovered how to polish this and make them look like this and get the beauty out of them. This one I definitely noticed has a chip on this particular run right here, again by my finger. You can see little knots right there. Not a big thing. You say it's certainly not going to deter from the beauty of the stone.
It's in the fridge,
so
and on the platter.
As we keep going and I get interrupted by background people bugging my camera person. Hopefully my camera's not too wiggly this evening, folks. I guess I'm gonna have to get a different camera mount. You go cheap, you get cheap, you know. But when you're on a budget, you got to do what you got to do. And here's another one that's just, You're going to have a tire. It could wire wrap too. It's got a little bit of softened area right there, but it's like I said, it's to the point where we're down to hard material. It's not, that ain't going to matter anymore. But if you look in there, you can see the hematite. And it's banding. Like I said, it's just depending on what you want to look at. And the hard part is just deciding what you want as a face and what you want as a back. And here's my last piece of red. And again, it could wire wrap because it's got that softened area where it dug out. But, I mean, you rotate it, you look at it, and just look at this edging right here. It's just gorgeous. It just picks up the flash and the fire, and you just cannot believe how beautiful these stones get. All right, let's get on with our run. Pause. Ready? All right, here we go, folks. It's looking pretty good. As you can see, dry. They still have a lot of good color to them. I'm wondering if this is what prehistoric man discovered, how he discovered precious stones and semi-precious stones. Walking through a wash or something in the river and see the flash of something like this in the bottom of it. So we're going to go ahead and fill the barrel. Now some of these I noticed ended up, some of these I noticed had a few chips in them. Places that might actually just chip off. I'm hoping not. If they do, it's gonna pretty much have to run these all over again. But I'm not gonna hardly have any left to run because I've got so few that survived to this point. Now I was gonna add my chips I pulled out earlier to this particular batch gee, I just don't have enough in there, I don't think. What do you folks think? Should I do that little tiny amount, or should I start my blue? This is some of my blue I broke up. Not all of it was broken. I did buy some pieces through Horse Mountain Rocks and Gems, as well as Gems by Mail that were already tumble ready and stuff. And this one, you can see that dark banding in there is just going to be gorgeous when it comes through. So what I might do,
4 minutes.
we're okay. So here we are on
Anna.
lighting this up, and
God, what is this? Somebody
all right. I don't know, folks. I think I might just run some of this blue tigereye that I've got here. I busted this up last weekend, and they're getting some good looking pieces. In fact, I busted up all of what I had and ended up with 2 nice little cups. But this particular cup here's got some pieces real thick with hematite right here. So that ought to really just come out different. Look at the layering on this. Isn't that just beautiful? That ought to come out real nice. And I've got a piece, I don't know if it's going to go in the run or not. It's a piece of that layer that broke off separate. As you can see, it's got the banding in it. But I don't know if I'm going to run that in this or not. I think what I'm going to do is run a combination. Here's another piece of that big thick layer there. So that's about on the upper end of what you want to put in there. I've got lots of, as you can see, I got lots of various size material. There's another piece of hematite. I got small piece chips. This will probably run once or twice, and then be set aside. There's another one with some big thick hematite on it. It's just, I think we're going to piece together a run here of blue. And we'll save the rest of what I've got for the... See what we can make up here in a load of some blue. Of the different stones that I had. And I want to give a thanks out to the supplier that I got all this from, the Horse Mountain Rocks and Gems, as well as Gems by Mail back in Pennsylvania. They're wonderful, friendly people. They also have a lot of videos. Like I said, you don't have to watch my video. They have videos on Tumbling this also. I just appreciate it, and you do. Like I said, I'm not the perfect guy. Now here's a nice, interesting inclusion right here. I don't know if that's gonna, I don't know if it's like a quartz or what, or if that's just gonna hollow out. It's gonna be softer than the rest of the host material. We'll see. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get some more little smaller pieces out and get a good mixture of what's going on. Now this right here, if it survives a good tumble, might be real beautiful. I don't know how you'd want to do it, if you want to string it as a necklace and or earring. A lot of people use these as chakra stones or whatever for the eye, the tiger eye, supposedly, you know, the all-seeing eye or whatever. I'm not sure how that works. Please don't quote me on that or hold me to it. There's a piece of some of the host rock that ended up in there. Definitely don't want to run it, because as you can see, it just, I can break it in my fingers. We don't want that in the run, because that's going to cause problems. And these little tiny pieces, they won't survive. That might come out and be a nice little chip for like a resin cast. That may be too, but we'll see. So what do you folks think? Should we go ahead and make a run like this? I'm going to, because I got this poor little lonely bucket of red and gold here, and that's just not enough to run. I got a feeling I'm going to end up losing some of these rocks, these stones, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put these aside, start a fresh run of blue, and see where we end up next week. I realize it's kind of a bummer showstopper to do this to everybody, but I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place, as they say, and I don't want to ruin what I've got already done. I'd like to finish those up. This one here with a little spire sticking up. That might not even, see, that's kind of got a grain that's going that way as well as the grain's going this way. Then I don't know, I might just keep that out of sight as like kind of a specimen. I don't know, because this spire certainly won't last, or this rod, whatever you want to call it, certainly won't last a tumble, because it'll certainly just snap off probably within 1 minute or so of starting up. But I've got lots of good chunks and pieces here that will make some beautiful hawkseye jewelry. Look at the banding on that, the twist. We do the twist. But anyway, folks, I hope I'm not disappointing y'all. It's all I'm gonna keep going with all the run here. I just want to add more to finish this run out, because I certainly don't want to lose anything out of that particular run. And we'll talk to y'all next week. I'm going to go ahead and reset. We're going to have some good looking stuff come next week. Talk to y'all in a week. I'm sorry I disappointed everybody, but stay with it, folks. It's, you know, it's going to come out. We're going to have a run of stuff that's going to be like the rainbow, I think. So we'll talk to y'all next week. Hey folks, this is not going to be it's a different video. It's kind of an extension of the last one. But I'm gonna load up my my blue tigereye. Try to get a good run of mixed material here. Different sizes. Get some small and chips. Don't want the hematite. It's not the same hardness. You can have hematite on your tigereye, but you can't tumble it with, because it's too soft and it's just going to give away. That's one of the ones you don't want to run. You want to run everything at the same hardness, so you want to run hematite by itself. This one here is going to be, I think, a nice little piece. You can see the banding and the just depth of the blue right now. It ought to really just do well as far as polishing. But as we go along here, we're going to have some various size material here. Dig through and see what I've got. This here, I don't know. I'm afraid to tumble it. It may not survive. But I don't know what else to do with it, really. It'd be kind of hard on a machine to polish on a disc or a wheel. I don't think it's going to survive that neither, because I could probably snap it, but I don't want to. I would like to. I think I'll put that over there with the one with the rod coming out of it. Now this one here is on the larger end of material you run in a 3-pound tumbler. But again, this one's got a lot of interesting banding and color to it. Like I said, you want to go to at least 2/3 full. And you like to say, you want different sizes. You just don't want all big, you don't want all small. You want to mix it up to where everybody tumbles together and roll around in a hot tub together and get along. Kind of corny sounding, and I'm sure I might have got in trouble, but I don't care. They gotta find me first. As soon as they find me, then they can punish me. Well, I don't think I'm stepped on anybody's copyright toes, but you never know nowadays. In a litigious society that people want to sue everybody over the lightest little sneeze because of the COVIDs and whatnot. I'm not going to start on the COVIDs because I don't. This is not political. This is all about fun and enjoying ourselves, running some tigereye. Well, that looks like a good run right there. I might put on maybe dump out some more so I can add in smaller amounts. As you can see, I got some different host materials, some really red, like I had with my red. And then I got some of this that's orange, yellow orange. I might throw that piece in there because it's got a nice big flat slab right here on the side that might make a nice pendant. And as we go along, we'll discover. Yeah, I don't even think if I would have saved the chips that I've had for my last to run with the other chips, or to add to the last run I was doing, I don't think they would have survived because I had just so few amount of filler, or I'd have to use so much filler it wouldn't be real fair. So I think that's going to be my run. We'll save the rest of this for another time. I've got more blue tigereye coming, so if I need it, we'll run more. Try to see what's going on. Ooh, that's nice too, but that may not survive. Anyways. Okay, folks, here we go again. on this. I added a little more of the material to this tub this time. You can run up to 3/4 of a barrel full. It just can't be completely full. You want room for these guys to run around and dance and polish up. And again, we're going to start with the heavy grit, the 4670. Those are going to be a lot of material removed. Probably when we come back in a week, and as we start working, you're going to see this 3/4 of a barrel turned to probably close to a half barrel. If we can get half a barrel out of all of this, then I've got my pre-polished, ready to finish gold and red on this to go with it. So I'll go ahead and dump in my grit, spread it all around. You can see it, that silicon carbide is just shiny and sparkly and just really kind of pretty looking in there if you look at it, but with sparkly. But anyways, as we go along here, we're gonna need to add water. You want to bring this water on this course about there, just up to the upper layer there. You don't want to cover the rocks completely, just up to that, pretty much the bottom of that top layer of rock. And then we do the same as before. Throw the lid on. Make sure you got it seated down in there good, because it does slip right in a little lip in there. Just like there's a lip around the outside for the cap. And whoa, sorry folks, earthquake. Surprisingly, we do have them in Arizona too. But anyways, we're going to talk to you in a week and see what we look like with this blue tiger eye. Everybody take care, God bless, and have a great week. Hello folks, week 5. It's getting close, down to the wire. We only have one more week. Possibly 2 more steps. Now you're saying, how do I have 2 more steps? Well, the last step, if it's necessary, it's just basically giving the rocks a bath. It's called a burnishing. You just throw them back in there, the rocks back in after the next load, and we give them a bath. We put a little bit of ivory soap in there. You wash them for about an hour. They tumble around, they clean up, and you have really beautiful shiny rocks. Depending on the stone, that you might have to do it, and then other times you may not. But we're getting some good looking material I can already see out of here. Let's see what we're looking at here. I'm telling you, we're looking real good, guys. Look at this piece. That's just gorgeous. That's coming out so beautiful. Let me take a break here for a minute. I got my black cat Pantera out here putting his 2 cents worth in. I'm gonna take a break. Yeah, that's nasty water, cat. Don't drink it.